Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight, your one stop for the day's top stories from India and across the world. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. Pakistan must walk away from terrorism if it wants a bilateral dialogue with India, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the inaugural session of the Raisina Dialogue. Election Commission issues notification for the Uttar Pradesh election on the 11th of February, the first phase of poll to cover 73 constituencies in 15 districts of Western UP. Congress and Samajwadi Party all set to contest the Uttar Pradesh elections together. Both parties confirmed that an alliance will be announced in a day or two. Cold wave conditions continue to disrupt normal life in northern India. Met Department predicts more snow and rains in Shimla in the next 24 hours. An Australian, Malaysian and Chinese officials suspend the deep-sea hunt for the missing flight MH370. The Malaysia Airlines aircraft disappeared en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing in 2014 with 239 people on board. The top story, the Uttar Pradesh Assembly poll process kicked off on Tuesday with the Election Commission issuing a notification for the first phase of voting. It will be held on the 11th of February and the first phase will include 73 assembly seats spread across 15 districts of Western UP. Right after the notification, various parties began filing nomination papers and the process would continue till the 24th of January. The scrutiny of papers will be held on January 25th and January 27th will be the last date of withdrawal of nominations. These elections are very crucial for both the BJP and the BSP, who are fighting to wrest back control of the state from the Samajwadi Party, which has announced an alliance with the Congress. A formal announcement, of course, will be in a day or two. The state is going to polls in 7 phases between the 11th of February and the 8th of March. And as we mentioned, the Congress and Samajwadi Party all set to contest the Uttar Pradesh elections together. Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav and Congress in charge of Uttar Pradesh, Ghulam Nabi Azad, confirmed that the alliance is in the offing. The declaration comes a day after the Election Commission granted the cycle symbol to the Akhilesh-led Samajwadi Party faction. In fact, in a related development, Samajwadi Party's Ram Gopal Yadav filed a caveat in the Supreme Court, saying that the court should not pass any order on the matter of the party symbol without hearing the Chief Minister's group.
A day after he was acknowledged as the true claimant of the Samajwadi Party's bicycle symbol, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav announced that an alliance with the Congress will be formalized soon. He also clarified that he'll take Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav along in every decision of the party. Late on Monday night, Akhilesh met his father and tweeted 3 pictures of them together with the message, "Cycle chalti jayegi, aage badhti jayegi." Meanwhile, ending all speculation, Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad confirmed that his party will fight the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections under the leadership of Akhilesh Yadav.
At the moment, at this point of time, I am just confirming that the alliance between Samajwadi Party under the leadership of Mr. Akhilesh Singh and Congress Party is going to be there.
With Western UP going to polls in the first 2 phases on February 11th and 15th, both parties will now have to race against time to finalize seat-sharing arrangements. Mulayam Singh Yadav is also believed to have given Akhilesh a list of 38 candidates that excludes his younger brother, Shivpal Singh. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday asked Pakistan to stay away from terror activities if it wants good relations with India. He was speaking at the inauguration of the 2nd edition of the Raisina Dialogue, where he talked to the importance of security and his dream of a well-integrated neighbourhood. Referring to Sino-Indian ties, the Prime Minister said that it was not unnatural for 2 large neighbouring powers to have some differences, but both sides should show sensitivity and respect for each other's core concerns and interests. On ties with Pakistan, Modi said that the path of peace has to be Pakistan's journey as well, and that India's stand in delinking terrorism from religion and rejecting artificial distinction between good and bad terrorism are now a global talking point.
My vision for our neighborhood puts a premium on peaceful and harmonious ties with entire South Asia. That vision had led me to invite leaders of all SAARC nations, including Pakistan, for my swearing in. For this vision, I had also traveled to Lahore. But India alone cannot walk the path of peace. It also has to be Pakistan's journey to make. Pakistan must walk away from terror if it wants to work towards dialogue with India.
And now to Punjab, where BJP State Chief Vijay Sampla today denied reports about resigning from the party. Sampla reportedly met Party President Amit Shah and Union Minister Thawar Singh Gehlot over ticket distribution. In fact, earlier reports had said that Sampla offered to resign because he was unhappy with his party's list of candidates. According to sources, Sampla, a Dalit leader who is also Union Minister, wanted sitting MLA from Phagwara, Som Prakash, to be dropped in favour of his candidate. Sampla today claimed that the list of party candidates had his full support. Amit Shah is also believed to have asked Sampla to campaign for the State Assembly polls that will be held on the 4th of February.
ना मैं नाराज था, ना मेरे अध्यक्ष नाराज थे. ये सब मीडिया की अफवाहें हैं और पता नहीं क्यों मीडिया को मैं तो आपके माध्यम से अपील भी करूंगा कि कम से कम मीडिया ऐसी बेबुनियाद आधारहीन अफवाहें फैलाने में जरा थोड़ा गुरेज करे. जब हम बैठते हैं सामूहिक निर्णय लेते हैं और सामूहिक निर्णय सभी की सहमति होती है और जब सबकी सहमति होती है उसमें संतुष्ट और असंतुष्ट का सवाल ही नहीं खड़ा होता.
Well, it will be a battle of heavyweights in Punjab's Lambi constituency as Punjab Congress Chief Captain Amrinder Singh takes on Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal in the upcoming polls. Singh has already said that this will be his last election, but he is confident of beating the incumbent Chief Minister on his turf. Meanwhile, Navjot Singh Sidhu kick-started his campaign for the Congress party from Amritsar. Here are more details.
The battle for Punjab will include a high-stakes tussle for the Lambi constituency, where the Congress party chief is putting himself up against Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal. Captain Amrinder Singh is calling it his last election and says he is confident of beating Badal on his home turf.
मैं पहला ये तो मेरा घर है. मैं इथों सियासी जीवन अपना शुरू किया सी और इथों ही खत्म करूंगा. मेरी लास्ट इलेक्शन है. उत्थे मैं उहदे बंदा बनाना उन्होंने. बस इन्ना फर्क है. वो जेड़ा बंदे ने लुट लिया पंजाब, जेड़े बंदे ने तबाह करता पंजाब, उन्हां नूं सबक सिखाना पड़ा.
The former Punjab Chief Minister is also fighting from the Patiala constituency, where he is up against the former Army Chief, General J.J. Singh, who is contesting on a Shiromani Akali Dal ticket. Asked about who is the chief ministerial face of his party, Amrinder Singh says the Congress president will decide the issue.
Sir, CM candidate हैगे मतलब as a
I don't know. That is Congress president. I am actually sometimes very surprised. We have had Field Marshal Karyappa, we have had General Shari Nagesh as our chiefs, we have had General Timaya as our chief, Field Marshal Manekshaw, फिर आगे J.J. Singh थे. कित्थे जा रही है फौज साडी, कित्थे जा रहा है मुल्क?
I grew up here. My roots are here. My ancestors came here. My maternal parents' house is still here, which is my permanent residence, as I've given in my books. And therefore, he says, I have nothing to do with this place. I think he doesn't know anything of Patiala himself. How long has he spent? He studied in Doon School and other schools outside. He did not stay in Patiala. He also has stayed more outside in Delhi and other places, Dubai, London and other places than here. So he has no right to say that I don't know much about Patiala.
New Congress entrant Navjot Singh Sidhu also kick-started his campaign with a roadshow in Amritsar. The former BJP MP once again attacked the ruling party and the Badal family.
पीरां दी इस पवित्र धरती ते सच हक ते धर्म दी स्थापना करनी है, दुष्टां दा विनाश करना ते उन्हां दा गलामा फड़ के झंझोड़ के उन्होंने कहना साडा हक पंजाब दा हक. गल लड़ाई पंजाब दी है, जिताउणा पंजाब नूं है, हर पंजाबी नूं है ते पंजाबीयत नूं है, आपसी भाईचारे नूं है. ਏਕਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਹੋਗੀ ਕਿ ਸੁਣ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ
Wednesday is the last day for filing nominations in Punjab. The state goes to elections for the 117 assembly seats on February 4th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now to Manipur, where less than 6 months after she ended her 16-year-long hunger strike, Irom Sharmila is now trying to change things in a different way. Her recently launched Praja Party will be a contender in this year's assembly polls. While repealing of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act is her main election plank, her associates also want to raise the issue of corruption and unemployment. However, experts believe that her entry into the political arena has been quite late.
This year's assembly polls in Manipur will see activist Irom Sharmila's Praja Party as a contender. Sharmila, who has been a mascot of Manipur against alleged atrocities of armed forces in the insurgency-prone state, is trying to adopt a new strategy to attract the masses.
We don't believe in grand shows or grand rallies just to give a very fake buzz about mobilization. We are going door-to-door campaigning. We're sharing our pamphlets with each and every voter that we meet.
Praja Party is focusing on the youth of the state, with almost 40% of the electorate in Manipur between the ages of 18 and 25. These are the youth who are either part of the insurgency movement or are affected by it.
Our first agenda, obviously, is to repeal AFSPA from Manipur. Second thing is Manipur is probably the most corrupt state in India. So we want to get rid of corruption or at least voice the discontent of the people that we are fed up of corruption. That's the second thing. The third thing and very important thing is that Manipur is a very diverse state, and all the ethnic groups and communities, their voices also need to be heard.
The party also wants to address issues like ethnic conflict and disparity in development between the hills and plains. They are also trying to give a regional overtone to the campaign.
We need a political party that would fight for the interest of Manipur, our domestic interest, and not listen to dictates coming down from New Delhi. And we want the people to say, it's time that we take our own decisions in our own hands.
Days before the elections in the state, the party is finding it tough to collect funds. It will be interesting to see how Irom Sharmila impacts voters in the highly polarized state. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha Television.
With a quick break here, we'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
The world's largest delta covered by mangrove forests and vast saline mud flats. Sundarbans, a land of 54 islands, crisscrossed by innumerable tributaries of river Ganga. It is spread in an area of 9,630 square kilometers in India, where 70% is under saline water. With a unique bioreserve, World Heritage Site, a designated tiger reserve, and a plethora of aquatic and terrestrial flora and fauna, Sundarban draws universal attention.
Welcome back. Let's continue getting you more national news. And cold wave conditions continue to disrupt normal life in the northern part of the country, even as the Met Department predicts more snow and rainfall in Shimla over the next 24 hours. western disturbances could dip the temperature further.
Cold wave conditions continue to prevail over most part of North India on Tuesday. The national capital woke up to a cold and windy morning with the minimum temperature settling at 6 degrees Celsius, one notch below the season's average. Although rail traffic was affected due to the weather, flight operations were normal as there was no fog at the IGI airport.
ज़्यादा गलन हो रही है और बहुत ठंडी पड़ रही है।
यार बर्फबारी हुई है इधर जम्मू कश्मीर की तरफ और ठंड तो होना ही चाहिए।
ठंड अब की बार बहुत ज्यादा पड़ रही है। हम 15 दिन से बाहर थे, अब आए हम दिल्ली में। अब 15 दिन में जब एकदम आए हम, यहाँ तो बहुत ठंड लगी है।
Meanwhile, the Kashmir Valley received fresh snowfall overnight, with the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway remained closed for the second consecutive day on Tuesday. Efforts to clear the highway are underway. Residents faced a tough time as snow disrupted power supply and caused water to freeze in the pipelines. Uttarakhand, on the other hand, faced problems as heavy fog reduced visibility to barely a few meters.
परेशानी तो बहुत परेशानी होती है जी, ठंड भी है, दुनिया भर की जैसे सुबह आने जाने के लिए भी दिक्कत होती है। ठंड में गिरने का, फिसलने का, काम करने भी काफी दूर जाना पड़ता है।
कोहरे के कारण बहुत सारी दिक्कतें रही, विजिबिलिटी बहुत है, बहुत कम दिखाई दे रहा है और पास की बहुत ही नजदीक का नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है। उससे क्या नाम है, व्हीकल चलाने में बहुत परेशानी हो रही है, व्हीकल टकराने की नौबत आ रही है।
Meanwhile, the Meteorological Department has predicted more snow and rain in parts of Shimla over the next 24 hours, with western disturbance affecting weather in the western Himalayas. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's get you more updates from across the country and nationwide. The centre has asked state governments to avoid using sketches, photographs or logos of Mahatma Gandhi on places that could be considered dirty. The advisory was issued so that no sentiments are heard while implementing the Swachh Bharat mission. The circular follows a case filed in the Chhattisgarh court against the use of photos of Gandhi on walls of public toilets and other filthy places. The Delhi High Court on Tuesday sought the Home Ministry's response to its notice on alleged poor quality food being served to Jawans along the LOC. A BSF soldier had complained about the bad quality of food on social media. Notices were also issued to the Border Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force and other security forces seeking their stand on the allegations. Jammu and Kashmir Opposition National Conference staged a walkout from the State Assembly on Tuesday, alleging that the state government had failed to provide power supply to snowbound areas across Kashmir. The state government, however, maintained that 80% of power supply was available in the Kashmir Valley. And now international news. And a man believed to have killed 39 people on New Year's night at an Istanbul nightclub has confessed to his crime after the Turkish police arrested him in a massive operation. Police said that the fingerprints of the man identified as Abdul Qadir Masharipov matched with those found at the club. Dozens of people have been detained in connection with the attack, for which the Islamic State has claimed responsibility, saying that it was revenge for Turkish military involvement in Syria. Abdul Qadir was arrested along with 4 others in Istanbul on Monday. Citizens of India, Israel, France, Tunisia, Lebanon, Belgium, Jordan and Saudi Arabia were among the victims, and dozens others were also injured.
Abdul Qadir Masharipov, kod adı Ebu Muhammed, Horasani Abdul Kavi, Özbekistan doğumlu, 1983 Özbekistan doğumlu bir kişi.
More international news updates in Global Buzz. The fate of the de facto head of South Korea's Samsung Group, Lee Jae-yong, hangs in balance as a court deliberates on whether he should be arrested for bribery in a corruption scandal that has engulfed President Park Geun-hye's administration. Investigators questioned Lee for hours last week as a suspect in the scandal. He has, of course, denied any wrongdoing and is also accused of embezzlement and perjury. The deep-sea hunt for the missing Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 has been suspended. The aircraft disappeared en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing on the 8th of March 2014, carrying 239 passengers and crew members. The flight was scheduled to arrive at Kuala Lumpur on the 9th of March 2014. The aircraft disappeared en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing on the 8th of March 2014, carrying 239 passengers and crew members. The Officials said that the decision was taken after the plane could not be located in the 120,000 square kilometer search area across the southern Indian Ocean. At least 5 people were killed and 15 others injured when a gunman opened fire at a nightclub in Mexico's Playa del Carmen resort during an EDM festival. Officials said that a Canadian, an Italian and a Mexican were among those dead, but the shooting is not being investigated as an act of terrorism. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry on Monday said that President-elect Donald Trump has been wrong to criticize courageous German leader Angela Merkel, calling in fact his remarks inappropriate towards Merkel. Trump, who will be sworn in as the U.S. president on Friday, had earlier in a joint interview said that he respected Merkel but criticized her stance on refugees, which allow a wave of more than 1 million refugees into Germany. And now sports, and at the Australian Open, there were no big shocks on day 2 as the top seeds sailed through the next round. Men's world number 2 Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal sailed comfortably into the second round, while women's world number 2 Serena Williams and third-seeded Agnieszka Radwanska also progressed to the next round. Here are more on the results.
It was a comfortable day for the top seeds on day 2 of the Australian Open. World number 2 Novak Djokovic launched his bid for a record 7th Australian Open title with an impressive win over Fernando Verdasco. The 12-time Grand Slam champion Djokovic was hardly stretched in his opening match as he beat his Spanish opponent in straight sets 6-1, 7-6, 6-2. World number 9 Rafael Nadal also eased into the second round with a straight sets victory in his opening game. The injury-hit Spaniard, who lost in the first round last year, beat Germany's Florian Mayer 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. He will play Marcos Baghdatis in the next round. Third seed Milos Raonic and Russia's Grigor Dimitrov also advanced with comfortable victories. However, Ivo Karlovic emerged victorious after a marathon match against Argentina's Horacio Zeballos, which lasted 5 hours and 15 minutes. The Croat fired down 75 aces as he won 6-7, 3-6, 7-5, 6-2, 22-20. In the women's singles, world number 2 Serena Williams progressed to the second round with a straight sets win over Swiss teenager Belinda Bencic. The 35-year-old American came into the tie with 2 matches under her belt since the US Open last September, but she looked in superb form in her win of 6-4, 6-3. She will next meet Czech Lucy Safarova. Third seed Agnieszka Radwanska survived a second set wobble to beat Bulgaria's Svetlana Pirokova 6-1, 4-6, 6-1. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
That's it on the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.